We're not, but I'm fixing it right now. Okay, well now I'm coming through, but no one else, so that's a problem. Or now I'm not coming through either, so... Why are you like this?
So I think we're only hearing Nick right now.
Yeah.
That's great.
So I think we're only hearing Nick right now.
Yeah, I'm doing the key.
So tonight we're playing. We're playing Stonetop.
So I think we're only hearing Nick right
RPG.
now.
Yeah,
we're here. So tonight we're playing. We're playing Stonetop.
So I think we're only hearing Nick right now. You can do. Oh, you can hear me now.
Yeah, I think I kind of fixed it. Let me try one more thing.
And Emily.
I was about to suggest we just mime everything Nick narrates and see how that goes. This is Stonetop. That's told by Braun. The definitely not inaccurate retelling of the events of Stonetop.
It's an oral history. It's in well.
I'm going to end this game with Braun becoming king and someone saying who has a more interesting story than Braun.
Virtually anyone else sitting there.
I don't know. Braun's story's pretty interesting.
Okay. So could someone else check the stream and make sure that sound is coming through for...
I'm checking the stream and sound is coming through.
Great. Okay, then I think we're good to go. I'll just have to wear these sweaty headphones for tonight.
So are we going to repeat everything?
Yes, we should.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
So let me also just say we're going to cut out 7:28 actual.
Listen, everyone, if you're here listening to us, if you've joined us, thank you for coming. You missed some real gold. Like we had some real gold there where you couldn't hear us, but it's okay. We're going to soldier on. Hello, and thank you for joining us for session number 11 of Stonetop, a actual play on the Happy Jacks RPG Network. To catch up on past episodes, visit happyjacks.org/Stonetop. And to find all of the shows on the Happy Jacks Network, visit happyjacks.org/shows. I am Emily Vanderwerf. I'm your GM for the night. And, we're having a good time here in Stonetop. We're coming up on the end of our game. Though it won't be tonight because we are short one player. And we want all of us here for the ending. So let's introduce our players, and we're going to start with Nick.
Hi, everyone. My name is Nick. I'm playing the character Braun, sometimes called Go-Between. He is using the fox for look, and he is just generally a guy you want in your corner all the time.
Yes, absolutely. He never does anything suspect. Next up, let's talk to Blythe.
Hello, I am Blythe, and I am playing Tiern, the occult-loving, magic-loving school teacher who has definitely gone down an interesting path.
Yeah, I mean, a little love, a little romance. It's like what we like to see here in Stonetop. And finally, Mo.
Hey, I'm Mo. I'm going to be playing Carlo, the marshal. I used to be the big guy in town, but sounds like I'm not the big guy in town anymore.
We got some new friends. Got some new friends hanging out. So, does anyone want to, for 2 free advantage rolls, do a recap of last week's adventures? So last time's adventures. It was 2 weeks ago. Wow.
I mean,
I'm sorry, I'm working here, but please,
Okay.
someone else.
I'll try.
He's Blythe.
So last week, we the party embarked on a journey to fight a worm, WYRM, for those wondering who might be confused about this, that was blocking the entrance to the Fae, and we had to try and sneak past it so that we could go get a Nook out of the Fae and take care of her changeling. Sneaking past it was tricky, and it did shift and kind of wake up for a second, pinning Braun to a wall, and Ilsa, being the would-be hero that she is, helped Braun out and got Braun away. And from there, we managed to get in with Dolores, Braun, Ilsa, Carlo, and Tiern. Wow. I know our party's names, I promise. We got through, we got into the Fae. It looked like an echo of Stonetop in a lot of ways. It was like pretty much all laid out the same, but no one was there. Except for one old Fae lady with a cat who just really wanted help getting her cat down. So Ilsa helped get her cat down. We had our save the cat moment. The lady appreciated it, thanked all of us, and gave us what she thought was a gift. So we know all of each other's secrets and everything we've been hiding from each other this entire time. So that's, which honestly, in real life, I would not mind. In the game, though, everyone is like, oh, all secrets have been kept now. And now we all know that the secrets were being kept. So from there, we went over to where a Nook's secret hiding place would be in Stonetop, found a Nook reading in kind of a trance-like state. She couldn't get out of it. And eventually I forced her to eat salt, and she snapped out of it and hugged Dolores. And then the fairy prince, I guess, that Tiern is supposed to marry showed up with the guy who enchanted Braun, who I guess is his dad. Daddy, probably, if we're being honest, because apparently he's super hot.
He's so hot.
So hot. The hottest.
Who doesn't have a daddy issue?
They're the hottest pair of fairy boys. And they try to ask us, like, which one will stay? And then they're like, let's push up the wedding, and Tiern and the fairy prince can get married right now. And Tiern is like, that would probably work if you agree to my terms. But Ilsa's like, no, I'm going to make a deal instead, and I'm not going to let you do this. And Tiern was like, I'm not going to let you do this. And everyone was like, and Braun was like, I'm useless. Let me stay. It was more heartfelt than that, but it was essentially Braun being like, hey, I've pissed all of you off. Let me stay.
I need my face turns. Let me sacrifice myself for everybody so no one thinks I'm an asshole anymore.
And so, with all this bickering and this arguing and us trying to make deals with fairies and not being very bright about it, Ilsa finally just signed a deal and made the decision and stayed behind in the fairylands. And apparently, in exchange for that, she gets to find out everything. So she knows that we've now opened a door into our world from the Fae. We don't know that, and Ilsa's not with us to tell us this. Also, that worm I mentioned is on its way to destroy Stonetop and probably kill some folks, which is terrifying. We are the worst people. We killed an entire town.
Look.
And stabilized the economy. And now we're killing our own town.
You did save a Nook. You saved a Nook. Very important.
And Dolores.
Yeah.
But here, you're looking at it the wrong way. It's not that we're bad people, it's that we're setting the stage so that the real heroes have a world that is unjust and fucked up to fight against. We're just protagonists of the prequel story.
We're the NPCs they meet up with later, like on the outs, like camping, and they're like, "Who are you?" And we're like, "We're refugees from Stonetop." And they're like, "What happened?" We unleashed the Fae on our kingdom. Except it would take like longer for them to earn that backstory from us.
Right.
Yeah.
What happened? We did.
So, Nick, why don't you roll 1d6?
I will be happy to do that. Just a moment here.
I'm also picturing a dialogue option for this mission where like a hero is like, "Why would you do that? We thought we were helping."
Yeah.
Because we did.
How does a 1 sound?
That sounds great. That sounds great. We have 3 players here tonight, and you rolled a 1. That means when the crumbled, that giant worm, rampaged through Stonetop, only 3 people were killed. Yeah, there was a fair amount of property damage, a lot of stuff broken. It's right before winter, so that's like not great. But yeah, only 3 people were killed. Tell me who one of them. Yeah, tell me who one of them was, Blythe.
You know what? Anook's dad.
Okay. Yeah, how did he die?
He was foolish and thought he could like fight this thing because he was like, "I'm a big, strong man," and toxic masculinity, and then it ate him.
Mo, how did Kylie acquit herself well in the course of this worm attacking the town?
Or Kylie got out her bow.
Yeah.
And fell in with my crew with Zeb and Shin to kind of steer the monster away from town. She's starting to show, and so pretty much everybody counted her out as useless. But her shot is a lot better than it ought to be for some helpless little girl who got knocked up.
Right. Braun, your old friend Wynn was one of the 3 people who died. Tell me how they died and how you've mourned their death.
I was wondering if that was going to happen. I think Wynn was out in the Wynn's family's farm or habitat was directly in the path of the worm. So before anybody knew anything else that had happened, it rampaged through that area, killing Wynn before they could escape or prepare themselves at all. And Ron hates himself for this, and I think that he has offered to pay for obviously he's paying for the funeral and any other damages there, but he's offered to Wynn's family to support them if they want to move away from this place or to help them rebuild whatever they want.
Okay.
I don't think he has admitted to them that he is responsible for this, but he feels horrible about what he's done, and that guilt is kind of gnawing away at him.
Okay. All right. Great. How much does the town know about the 3 of your role in this? Ilsa, of course, is now living in Fairyland, so obviously people have noticed that she is gone. But also you came back with a Nook, so... Mel, go for it.
I have another question.
Sure.
How much does Erasmus know about
Erasmus? Erasmus.
Why didn't you kill him?
Erasmus is keeping his mouth shut. He hasn't said anything yet. He's very interested in the proceedings so far, but he clearly knows what's up. I'm wondering if y'all have said anything or if other folks know what's up. Up until this point, you were pretty well considered the heroes of Stonetop. Like, people, regardless of all the things that you've done, including dooming an entire town, Stonetop thinks you're great. So,
I would say for Bron's part, he has not disclosed any information. And anytime anyone asks where he was when the attack happened, he has a story for it. And I think the story is something along the lines of, while we were out tracking down rescuing Nook, we saw this horrible monster, and we tried to scare it away, but unfortunately it ignored our distraction and went for the town being the kind of biggest thing on the horizon. Where it felt that it could get the most food or do the most damage, or even maybe it didn't even realize what was going on, since the thing had been, some kind of monster just coming out of the forest. It might have just been trying to go someplace else. Maybe it was a breeding cycle. We don't know. It's impossible to know.
Yeah, absolutely. The third person who died was Mayor Heron. In the process of fighting this off, Kylie and Zeb and Shin steered it. It went right through Wynn's farm, but they steered it away, and Mayor Heron was on. What was the name of that horse? Lightning Fireball from the very first session. She was on the horse, and the horse just streaked off right in front of this thing, and it rumbled along after her. She got it well out of town, and that night the horse came back, and she did not. So, we don't know if she's dead, but it seems like a pretty safe bet that she is. Cobalt, thank you. Thank you so much. I've run so many games of this, and there's always a very fast horse. So, but yes, Cobalt came back, no rider on it. The other thing that has happened in the months or in the weeks since the last session is strange figures have come to town and are just sort of occupying it. They're not like, if you push up against them, they're pretty rude, mean, and sometimes outright violent. But as long as you leave them alone, they're fine. They're just, they're almost like an army. But they don't look like any army you've ever seen before. They are dressed in uniforms you're not aware of, and they have strange pale eyes and skin that sparkles in the moonlight. So it's a few days before the winter solstice, and everything is bitterly cold, and Stonetop is slowly repairing the damage from the worm. Most things are back together. The first thing they fixed was the dining hall, and so people who need a home are sleeping there because some houses are still in disrepair. But the three of y'all are. It is a warm night in the dining hall, cold outside, but they've got the fire going. So you're here enjoying a winter's feast. Have you all talked to each other since unleashing the beast? By the way, this is just for my own edification. Anouk and Dolores are in the corner, and they're being very cuddly.
I imagine we talked on the way back because we lost Ilsa.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mo, you were going to ask something. Carlo, you were going to ask something.
So, have we been able to track to where this worm is nesting?
The worm cuts it moves very quickly. It moved south. It seems like it's headed. It moved past the turnoff for Marsh Edge, the turnoff for Gordonsdale. It seems like it's heading down toward the capital city. But it moves very quickly. By the time you got back, you were too far behind to really catch up to it.
Got it.
But it is nowhere near Stonetop.
It's not hanging out preying on Stonetop.
No, not that you're aware of. And it sounds like it ate a few sheep on the way, but other than that, there haven't been reports of more damage. Not from around Stonetop. So.
All right. So what about this weird army
Well, I don't know. They're just here. They just showed up one day, and
Do they talk to us?
They, if you try to talk to them, they speak a language you've never heard before.
Who's running the town currently with Mary Aragon?
Good question. I don't know. Do you?
If it was not opposed, or if it was Ron, I think that Ron might try and step into that position.
Uh-oh, I think I froze.
There might be opposition.
Yeah.
I would.
Or how about this? Because I think that if I can spin a little story here, I think that Ron probably started to do something like that, and Carlo made it plain that was not acceptable. So Ron has just been, without being an administrator, he has just been sort of taking care of the logistics of what's going on. But
Taryn, what do you think about Brennan standing in for now?
I mean, he did a good job in Marsh Edge. I don't see why not.
Well, I mean, by a good job, you mean he kept all of the petty crime organized?
yeah, don't paint him with rosy goggles. He was as corrupt as anyone here. And
I know.
Oh, that's the Tyr.
Tyr just kind of looks at Braun and is like, I'm not, because you're the one who tried to kill him with the crime person who didn't like him because he cracked down on crime.
There's no such thing as crime. There's no crime in Marsh Edge. That doesn't ring any bells for you?
I'm not saying there's no crime. I'm just saying that I don't think it was how you're painting it to be.
Well, and I don't think it's how you're painting it to be. Yes.
I'm just saying he did a fine job. That's all I'm saying. But you did partner up with a criminal who hated him because of how he was as a sheriff and tried to kill him.
You mean a criminal? Yeah.
I step in to assert that Brennan was very much a criminal himself. And
nothing happened that Tyrn would know of for him to have been a criminal. So Tyrn is like, I don't know what y'all are talking about, but Braun tried to kill him. So
Brennan was in charge of coordinating, making sure that virgin went to the swamp. Brennan was in charge of making sure that
all of Marcia is guilty on that front.
The right people didn't go to jail and the wrong people did. And I did some work for Brennan my time in Marsh Edge. And well, I would get called to do the work that Brennan wasn't supposed to be seen doing.
He was no angel.
I trust you, Carlo. I don't trust the one who was okay with killing him.
Please, Carlo would have been fine with killing him also. Let's be honest here.
Also, all of Marsh Edge was guilty in the sacrifices. That's not on Brennan uniquely.
Oh, really? Raj was guilty?
Raj was guilty.
Yeah, my family was 100% guilty. We all went along with it. Forever. We did nothing to stop it, even though we knew it was happening.
So, it sounds like we got to interview Brennan. I'm
comfortable putting him in charge of something. That's on you, Carlo. You're in charge of protecting the town. You're in charge of this kind of thing. I'm leading it. And I am trusting you with this.
I'm looking at Brennan. I'm looking at Sven, one of the watch guys. And
Ivan, the old hero?
No, I'm leaving Friedrich out of this. Friedrich's a little entitled. And maybe Fenwick, Ron's brother-in-law.
Interesting. Cool. So yeah, there's there is going to be some sort of conclave. I don't think you have democracy in Stonetop,
No.
but there's going to be some sort of like the important families of the town are going to gather and talk about these three candidates and sort of hear the cases for each of them.
Having the important families decide everything works so well for Marshage.
Yeah, it works well. It works well everywhere. When people who have the most power continue to get even more power, that never goes wrong. That's the lesson of this game. So you're that's coming up. And while you're all talking about this, Ailish, the guy who had a crush on Tiernan, just sort of shows up and is like, just kind of like stands awkwardly to the side as y'all are talking, and then kind of just like, it's like, hey, Tiernan.
What do you want, son? Can't you tell we're busy here?
I need some help, but I also just want to say hi to Tiernan. We haven't talked a lot lately.
I have been very busy. But what do you need help with?
So, I'm staying here at the hall while they repair my house, and it's really nice. It's great, but there's some of those like army guys. They just like make such a ruckus all night long. Basically, he's filing a noise complaint.
Could you describe the ruckus?
I never get any sleep. They're always playing music and dancing, and they get some of the girls from around town and the guys from around town, and they play the music, and they get this look in their eyes, and they are like dance until sunrise. And I just want to sleep, but they're always there, just playing their music right outside the doors. Like, y'all are like the heroes of the town, and we could use some heroes right now to just get these guys to shut up. Anyway, Tiernan, I know that this is the world's most awkward pivot, but he's like, Tiernan, I know the winter solstice is a favorite night of yours for stargazing. So if you wanted to go stargazing, like, we could go out, just out to some of the ruins out and just like look up at the sky. It's supposed to be a very clear night. That's what the astronomers say.
I may be previously engaged that night.
Oh.
I may have a prior, sorry.
I think you definitely have an engagement that would preclude you from going out on that night.
Oh.
So
Okay.
What?
Oh, well, the new year will be here soon. So perhaps we could see each other the last night of the year, as good luck for the year to come.
Yeah. Let's pencil it in for the new year and see then if I'm free. It's really just, I have so much, have to figure out what happened with this worm, but yeah, let's put it in our calendars for the new year.
Okay, thank you. I'm looking forward to it. He walks off, and then he turns back and goes, oh, and yeah, please make sure those guys shut up. I just need some sleep.
Who wants to talk to the soldiers?
Can I say something that Braun has been working on, obviously subject to your approval or not, Emily?
Mm-hmm.
I think that once these soldiers have shown up, that Braun has been covertly importing a lot of iron and salt.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all of the, like, not overtly, but just like every time he has a trade mission come back, that he's been, requesting and bringing in those two items as sort of proof against the Fae if needed. Since that's what he imagines this cadre of good-looking soldiers who don't speak the local language and party all night is likely
Roll me Defy Danger plus Intelligence
Okay.
to see how good you are at smuggling things in past the people who check all the shipments that enter town.
Okay. Can I use my my traveling contacts as an advantage here?
Sure. Tell me what those are.
That I have contacts all over the world. I have samples of many different commodities, and so I have like a network of traders and people who know how to get me things.
Okay, cool.
Do you want to give me a numeric bonus, or just let me roll with advantage?
Just roll 3 die. Yeah.
Okay.
3 dice.
That is just going to get me to a 10.
Okay.
I'm just going to.
So you're very successful. Yeah, you're very successful. You're able to get a lot of stuff into Stonetop. How do you get this past the guards? What are some of the methods you use?
There are some things that are there are supplementary storage built into some of the wagons. And so some things are in there and maybe don't get declared duty-wise. He's also imported a whole bunch of preserved and salted vegetables. And the vegetables only go down like the first couple layers, and it's mainly just a big tub of salt that's in there. But it looks like it's, preservatives. And then the iron, I think, has probably just been packed into similarly at the bottom of barrels, or some of it in some of the smugglers' passageways.
You can say no to this. Is there anyone you're bribing, and how are you bribing them?
What guards are checking this? Are these local Stonetop people?
No, it's some of the soldiers, but you can tell that one of them, because of his uniform, is like very highly ranked. He's one of the higher ranked soldiers around Stonetop.
Okay. Can I sprout lore on this, on something that they enjoy?
Yeah, you can sure spout some lore. Roll me plus whiz.
Okay. Fantastic. I got a 12.
Great. Okay. Tell me things that you know are true.
Oh, I'm sorry. I rolled an 11. I forgot my negative modifier.
That's fine. You're fine. It still works.
Okay.
Okay. Tell me some things you know are true, and you can, of course, ask me questions as well.
Okay. I think that they are enamored of sweets. Mm-hmm. And so that I've learned that they have a very a powerful sweet tooth, and so I've used that to my advantage, bringing in sugar and candy, and using that to kind of, even though we don't exactly have a language, but to generate some bonhom with the soldiers and perhaps that captain of the guards, making sure that they sort of get the best of these treats. And so it's brought me a lot of goodwill and not questioning too closely what is on the wagons, since the first thing that comes off is the big tub of peppermint and other candies and gingerbreads and stuff like that on there. In terms of, do we want to make that like one of the questions sort of thing?
Sure. Like, spout lore is a very ill-defined thing. Like, you just sort of, I will give you information, or you can introduce information that is then true, basically. So, but also if you want to ask me questions, you sure can. Like, if you want to make it sort of an ersatz discern realities.
Okay. What have I noticed in their behavior that they prize? And conversely, if possible, is there anything that seems like they find distasteful or fear?
Well, they really don't like eating those dried salty vegetables. They are currently occasionally having to eat food from the dining hall, and they don't really like those. What they seem to prize is They're like very, very good, like moving in formation. They will do like their exercises outside of town. It's like they almost move with one mind. Like you've never seen an army that successful. And like they seem almost uninterested in Stonetop. Like they're here, obviously. They're, making everything they're disrupting everything, and nobody really likes having them here, but it's clear they have their eyes on something else. They're just this is their foothold, basically.
They're just bivouacking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anything else?
Can I get a reasonable estimate of their numbers? I mean, if they're out in formation doing drills, I think that it would be relatively easy to count how many there are.
Yeah, you have counted, and it is exactly 7 times 7, 49.
Okay, fair enough. So I think that between kind of studying what their guarding patterns are, ingratiating myself with the suites, and using the things they find kind of distasteful to hide the items I'm bringing into town, I think that's probably everything that I can get out of that role.
Okay. Great. I'm going to roll a die and see who was just selected the town mayor. The answer is Fenwick. Fenwick, congratulations. Come on down. You are the mayor of Stonetop. He, gives the little speech thanking everyone in all of the rich and powerful families. And then you see that general from the guy who seems to be in charge from the army comes over and pats Fenwick on the shoulder and then takes him back into the mayor's office. And the door closes behind them.
Wait, what? So
yeah,
there's stuff
on.
going on that that Carlo doesn't want to just let happen.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Tell me what you're going to
do. Yeah. These guys got to go.
Okay.
Like I'm getting Brennan and Braun and anybody else who has any kind of rudimentary fighting skill, and we're looking to repel them. They are not sequestering the mayor in an office for a conversation.
You want to go break in?
Charming people. That's just not going to happen.
Okay. You want to break in?
I'm sorry?
Do you want to break into the office, or do you want to try something else?
Oh, no. I think I'm just gonna I think I'm just going to see this this leader of theirs out, ready to put a knife in his back if I have any problems.
Okay. So you're leading him out of town, basically.
No,
or leading him out of the building, rather. Mm-hmm.
I think what I'm doing is taking him to an ambush.
Okay. Cool. Tell me what the ambush looks like.
And have we established that they are fairy? Tyrion or
we haven't yet, but they are don't like salt and do like sweets. And do have pale eyes and skin that sparkles in the moonlight, so tomato.
And our soothsayer hasn't said anything about this?
Soothsayer lives way out in the woods.
No, our guy. The guy we went and got.
Oh, Erasmus.
Erasmus.
Nobody's asked him anything. He every time you see him though, he's like watching what's happening and writing frantically in a notebook. So he's clearly very interested in what's happening, but also is not saying anything.
All right. So I take him, we walk through a side door that takes us to an alley, and Zeb, Dur, and Brennan are there, and the knives come out.
Okay. This general stands, his hands out like this, and he looks at you, and he tries one language, and he tries another, and then finally he lands on whatever you speak in Stonetop, which is English apparently. And he's like, yes. Oh, I see what it is. I see I have upset you. So I tell you what, I assume you want me and my men gone.
Yep.
Excellent. We are about to move on. It's very cold, but I will speed up our plans if you can beat me in a fist fight.
Nope.
Okay.
So I think we've outfitted ourselves with iron weapons.
Okay.
And yeah, we shiv him.
Roll me Defy Danger plus strength is kind of wrong. Roll me Defy Danger plus intelligence because I want to see how effective this plan is.
So you're going full Caesar on him?
Yeah.
Yep.
Great.
And do I get any help from my men, or is that just part of it?
You can have an extra die to
Okay.
That's your men.
So I'm at 11 on 2 dice, and I'm at 11.
Okay. So yeah, this plan is quite successful. Tell me how it all goes down. We haven't a good idea because you're in an alley, but like, do they rush him? Do you like sort of walk him down until he's toward them, or?
Yep, I walk him down. They step out the shadows. He says, "How about a deal?" And I say, "Nope." And the knives go in.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, part of the experiment is, how much does it take to kill one of these things?
Mm-hmm. Oh, it takes a lot, but you have him cornered.
Mm-hmm.
But it takes at least 20, 30. It takes between 20 and 30 stabs, but you get him down.
And
I'm not going to have you do like
iron,
a hit points fight because he doesn't have weapons. Yeah, he doesn't have weapons. Like it doesn't make sense to have it be a full fight. So because you have all the advantage. But yes, even with iron, it takes quite a bit. Now he's taller, bigger, stronger than some of the others. He's evidently someone who's been here a long time. But yeah, he is down on the ground. His blood is silver, and he is just laying in this alleyway where anybody could potentially stumble upon you, standing over the dead body of one of these soldiers.
So yeah, Zeb stands at the front of the alley, make sure everybody gets a wave by and a smile, and this guy is put into a barrel.
Okay.
And
was the barrel there ready and waiting for you?
I think so. Like,
Okay.
this guy came to our mayoral
Yeah. Your
like
conclave,
thing,
yeah.
and it's just like, nah, y'all are just too comfortable.
Yeah. Okay.
And I appreciate if you're here to make sure somebody goes off into the woods on the Solacist, but this isn't how we conduct things around here.
Okay. So
Tossed in a barrel and covered in salt.
Yeah, I want to get this guy to Erasmus.
okay. Cool. Yeah. So the barrel is, sealed up, but it does glow silver in the moonlight. It's got his blood on it, and that is glowing. So it will be pretty obvious you have something in there that is not, and especially if any of the guards see. But so far, nobody seems to have noticed. Tyrn, what are you up to at the moment?
I think Tyrn is kind of going around and probably helping with medical stuff, just helping people out, making sure that if anyone's too hurt, giving them some like tinctures and stuff to make them feel better. Because she can't build stuff or rebuild stuff, but that she can help people make like heal.
Mm-hmm.
So she's been going around probably helping with that, and just knowing that this is her fault and also not saying it to anyone.
Can I
avoiding Erasmus.
Yeah.
Can I ask for Tiern's help for something?
You can.
Okay.
She'll say.
Yeah. Tiern, you can tell when someone has had glamour on them, right? That's something that you know how to detect.
Oh yeah.
Can you, if I get us an audience with Fenwick, can you just confirm that he's not under any influence? I'm not obviously a good judge of that, but I just want to make sure that whoever is running the town isn't answering to these strangers. Is that something you can do?
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Honestly, if you're worried about it, I don't trust you, but I don't want this as much as you do, so I will.
Well, they just seem very supportive of him as a candidate, and I just want to make sure that that's coincidental and not because he's under their thrall.
I'll definitely check.
Thank you. So I'd like to schedule a meeting with Fenwick.
Okay.
I don't know if like
Sounds
the
great.
next day or something like that, but
Yeah, it'll be the next morning. I will just I'll just say that Carlo found a place to hide his barrel for the night. Yeah, so it's the next morning. Fenwick is in his office, just like looking over, because like the papers are just in like disarray. You know, like whatever Heron, like Heron did not have the greatest like organizational system, and she's been gone for over a month now, so everything is just in total disarray. So he's just standing there, kind of scratching his head, looking over this. Is it just you two, or did you bring Carlo as well?
I mean, I wouldn't say no to Carlo being there. Like Tiern would be like, yeah, he's been a big help so far.
how about this? I think Braun wouldn't have necessarily invited Carlo, but maybe after talking to Tiern reached out to Carlo because she doesn't trust Braun, and in case something else needs to happen, Carlo's a good person that you do trust.
Yeah, and also like, so we don't end up with a possible authority situation, it might be good to just have Carlo around for like, I don't know what's going to happen. I just don't know what's going to happen anymore. So all of us being there is better.
So yeah, Fenwick is just sitting there like looking through all these papers. And he looks up and sees the three of you and is like, oh, thank goodness you're here. I cannot make heads or tails of any of this.
Oh, well, Fenwick, congratulations, first of all. Of course, I'm happy to help you with the paperwork and the logistics and trying to figure out how exactly everything is working.
Thank you.
I have
a head for numbers, yes.
Exactly. But I also just wanted to congratulate you and say thank you. I'm glad that the people of town recognized your talents. You were the hero who brought us the first information about the sheep. So you saved countless lives and our livelihood. So I'm glad that they recognized that and have had you raised to this new position.
Well, thank you so much. I feel very honored to be here with the town's three greatest heroes. I have a couple minutes I can spare for you, of course. And if you have anything you wish to know about me, then he starts talking about like his kids and stuff. Like it's just like a weird like kind of monologue. But if there's anything you want to know, now is the time to, I guess, discern realities would be the best thing. Probably rolled by Tiern.
Can I do just like a little flashback and ask Tiern like what do you need to be able to do this reading? Does he need to be distracted? Does he need to be in a high emotional state? Like, because all of that's going to inform the tack that Braun is going to take in this conversation.
She's like, just keep him distracted so it doesn't be weird that I'm looking for signs of magic on him. She's like, I don't have to like touch him or anything.
Okay, so I'll join in with the reminiscences. I'll ask about Darby, let him tell me stories, make sure that my sister is okay, congratulate him on all of the stuff, start shuffling through papers and make exclamations and say like, oh, did you see this? And just basically keep being distracted.
Okay. All right, Tyrion, if you want to discern realities, then go for it. Or if you have a different plan, but that would be my recommendation. If you have a different plan, please let me know.
I guess I can do that. Do I still have my -1 to wisdom from?
No.
Rest. Oh, fully.
Enough time has passed that you wouldn't have it anymore. Yeah.
Just making sure. Did not want to game incorrectly.
I had forgotten about it, so that's why I know it's not there.
I got a 7.
Okay.
Not great, but not terrible.
Yeah. And I'm just going to say the disadvantage is he keeps looking at you curiously, but then he gets successfully distracted by Braun, so you don't quite get everything you want, but you do get like one vital piece of information.
Yeah, so I guess who or what is really in control here?
Fenwick wants what's best for Stonetop. Fenwick is happy to be the best mayor Stonetop's ever had. Fenwick will probably be a great mayor, like honestly. But at present, he really does believe what's best for Stonetop is to just like sort of placate this army and let them move on and like leave Stonetop alone. He has been successfully convinced that that's true. And you can tell there was like magic to that convincing, but he himself is not under any charms. He was just like compelled, let's say.
So it was just like, it's okay. Just
yeah.
They used some magic to push harder, but it doesn't seem like a permanent thing.
Right. Why, you don't know, but he doesn't seem like he's under any enchantment, not in the way that like Braun was.
Okay. I mean, it's suspicious, but it's not like we might have to convince Fenwick of something different, but as far as we can tell, Fenwick is fine. And Tyrion kind of gives Braun a look like he's fine.
Okay.
While you are having this conversation, while you're all sitting there talking to Fenwick, Tyrion, your fiance, pops in. You can see or hear him.
It's so good.
Your favorite thing. And he's like, listen, there was a murder last night. And one of our men is gone. He's very important to me. He was very precious to me. And I tell you, we're going to have him replaced. But what will be good for Stonetop is if you find who did it and turn them over to us. Then we will go easy on your town. Anyway, love you. See you in a couple days. Bye. Pops out.
Like a human was murdered or a fae was murdered?
Oh yeah, he would have clarified that it was one of the people. He clarified it's one of the people in the army, so you assume they're fae, But like it was basically he's saying a important person in the army was murdered, and since the army does these little exercises around town, you could go and see who it was very quickly.
Yeah. So that's Tyrion is just like gonna look at Braun and Carlo and kind of be like, Tyrion is gonna be like, it's been very lovely to speak with you, Fenwick. Congratulations. I hate that it's under these circumstances that because the mayor's missing, right? The old mayor.
Yeah.
It's like, I hate that these are the circumstances of which you had to become mayor, but I do believe you'll do a good job. She's like, now if you'll excuse me, I have some matters to attend to.
Yes, we have kept you far too long. If you want, I will take some of those papers back to my shop and go through them and see if we can get some sort of organization for you. And you work on some here, and I'll work on some there. And I can bring you back a report later today.
Obviously, if you need anything, we are at your disposal.
Wonderful. Thank you. I will be in touch. Oh, by the way, some of the Army folks, I don't like them. I know nobody likes them, but they're so noisy and they're up all hours of the night. I'm just trying to get them to move on as quickly as possible. And I hope, I figure out a way to do that. But they want to put up a tent because they want to have a big party on the solstice. I guess somebody's getting married. I don't know.
Well, I think we all want them to move on as quickly as possible and leave Stonetop alone. And I kind of give a side eye over to Tiern and say, if perhaps we can negotiate something where if they want to put up this big tent and have this celebration, that we could maybe leverage the permission to do such a thing to move on a little bit faster.
Go ahead, Tiern.
Oh, Tiern's just like, maybe. I have some things I'd like to talk to you about before we make any decisions.
And the mayor says, "You know what? That's a great idea. I will. I'll talk with them about that next time I see them." I was talking with the general last night, and took him a while to figure out what language I spoke, but he got there. Yeah, we were going to have breakfast this morning, but he didn't show. So,
well, I'm sure that there are many things that could have caught his attention. Leading a bunch of troops always has a bunch of surprises.
The general, you said? Was there a name?
No, he just introduced himself as the general. I'm wondering if fairies have generals. Let's say they do.
They do here.
They do now.
He can also save us a bunch on car insurance.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So he returns to his work. I'm just going to say he has a cat. He's got like a cute little cat that's like nestled up in the corner. Fenwick's cat.
He always had a cat?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, he's always been a cat person. Having a cat around him is not unusual. Have you paid close attention to all his cats? No, but he's always had a cat around him. So anyway, so yeah, he goes back to work and y'all can do whatever you like.
So we go outside and I say, Tiern, I think we have a problem.
Well,
I also think we have a problem.
Is it Fenwick? Is he compromised? Has he been bewitched the way I was?
No, he's fine. He was magically persuaded, but he's not enchanted. He's genuinely fine. It might take some convincing or unconvincing, I don't know yet. But I have received word that an important person in this army got killed last night, and it might be that general who didn't show up for breakfast this morning.
I know something about that.
I had no. What?
You know something?
So listen. I look around. Is there anybody within earshot?
No, not that you actually roll me like discern realities plus intelligence. And you can ask me questions if you want, but you can't see anybody.
I discern nothing.
Yeah, you don't see anybody. It doesn't seem like there's anybody around.
So I say, look, these people are causing problems. And I'm sorry I didn't come to you first, but you seem busy. So I've started dealing with it.
Dealing with it?
Yeah.
What happened?
General's not coming back.
Obviously. Who killed the general?
I dealt with it.
Who killed the general?
I just stare at you flatly. If this is your wedding party, maybe for the good of the town, it's time for you to leave.
Carlo, they will go easy on the town if we hand over who murdered the general. They had no plans of doing anything to the town.
They've already taken over the town.
Yes, I'm aware of that. But now...
So that's doing something.
That's not hurting people.
It's control. And it's the same control they have over you. It's the control that they double-crossed us with the dragon.
I understand, but killing someone?
My friend, these are very sensitive topics. Perhaps you should adjourn to my shop to discuss them further rather than out here in the middle of the causeway.
Yes, I think that would be a good idea.
And, smiles, happy smiles. There's no need to raise our voices. Let's just walk in and here we go. And I'll kind of usher everyone to my place.
So as we walk,
go ahead.
Carlo is going to continue to talk and say, so it sounds like they know that their man is missing and they want a fall guy.
They know their man is dead, and this man was important to them. And they are threatening us now because one of their men is dead. So you're going to have to give me a really good reason as to why one of their men is dead. Because otherwise, this just looks... All you've done is bring us a much worse problem.
All right, then. I will leave.
Well, no one's saying that you have to leave, Carlo.
I put my hand on your shoulder, Braun. I say, it is not that great a sacrifice.
What if one of your crew were to leave on an extended trip far away from here, and once they had been gone a certain amount of time, then Tyrn could discover that was the individual responsible for this general's death.
You think Tyrn will be here in 2 weeks?
This is definitely something they are after now.
Did you get a time limit?
No, did I?
Well,
so I say, look, they know what they want to know, and I'm not worried about them. And I say, I look at Braun and I say, a good leader doesn't throw people under the bus.
Can you at least tell us why it happened?
Why? Because
what did they actually do?
Did you see during the ceremony how the general decided to have a personal conversation with Fenwick?
Yes, I know what happened to Fenwick. But what did the general actually do?
Did he charm Fenwick to make sure that he did not?
No. If he used any magic, it was like the smallest amount. Fenwick is not charmed currently or enchanted.
But has he been?
No, it was just like magic. It was like the tiniest bit of persuasion. Like, yes, it was persuasion, but Fenwick can be unpersuaded.
Like I said.
But what did he actually do to be dealt?
Occupying the town, threatening the citizens, and then taking over the person in charge? Did you see Braun try to give give the children away to them?
Yes, I know what happened with Braun. I'm aware of what happened with Braun.
So I made a decision. I made a decision, Taryn. Did you let us know that they were with you?
I haven't even had a chance to talk to any of them.
We've been back for weeks. They've occupied our town for weeks.
I've been helping people around town. But you didn't come to me. You didn't ask me about anything. You didn't even remotely. You just decided to play vigilante and kill someone.
You forget. I'm the law.
Oh, okay.
Look, this isn't
that's how this works.
this isn't a situation about who did what or said what or what happened in the past. Carlo saw a problem and took an action. Do I necessarily agree with that action? No, but that doesn't matter at this point. Now we have to figure out what to do. If they want a killer for that
there's nothing to do.
I'm trying to get a legitimate reason out of why this man is dead, that maybe so we have some bargaining chips.
He crossed a line. They were not invited. They are not welcome. We were planning to have an all-out assault if they didn't disappear the day after the solstice.
There's a knock at the door of the store. Are you at the store right now?
For this.
Yeah, I think we're at the store by now.
Yeah.
There's a knock at the... Go ahead.
I will go across to the door and open it and start with the, I'm so sorry, we're closed right now, but who is
Erasmus is there. And he says, couldn't help but overhear your conversation.
Oh, God.
I'm curious as to what you are going to do with the body.
You want it?
Please come in. You know, I realize I have your order right here. Let us go over it, and we'll ensure that everything is there and the payment is right. Please come in, my honored guests.
If we get the body back to the right people, we might be able to get you off the hook and get most people off the hook.
So I usher him in and close the door again.
So I understand that you, he looks toward Carlo, have killed one of them. That is a feat few humans will ever manage. Congratulations to you. They will be watching for you now.
Yes.
Now, you need to figure out what to do with this body, because the second they find that body, it's over for this entire town. So, what are you going to do with the body?
I'm taking it with me. In the middle of the day. It glows at night.
Could we make it look like an accident?
It's not an accident.
Move it to the edge of the falls and dump it over.
It's going to be very obvious. It's not an accident, something tells me.
Do you have any other input to put in this, Erasmus? You have any other thoughts?
Any questions? I would love to answer any of your questions, but I suspect I have not been told everything that is going on in this town. You do realize that their whole job is to turn people against each other. That's when they work best, is when you are divided, because they can work their agendas against each other. You've already lost one, and if I would guess, she is now working in their employ.
Yep, your count is correct.
Tyrion here has some sort of connection to them that I have many interesting guesses about. Braun has been enchanted.
Wait. Wait. Sorry. I would have returned his book when we came back out of the woods after the worm attack.
I think we returned it when we arrested a Nook for it, or tried to arrest a Nook for it.
Yeah, he's got the book. Yeah. It seems to me the Marshal here is the only one who hasn't been corrupted by them in some way. And yet you murdered
I object to that term. I don't think anyone has been corrupted.
Shut up, Braun.
Yeah, put it how you want to put it, Erasmus. What he did doomed us. Now what they want is for us to turn over the killer and the body. And they'll go easy on Stonetop. But we're doomed either way, something tells me. And we're extra doomed if we don't give them the body.
We were doomed when they showed up.
Oh, you were doomed when those two little girls went into the woods. Tyrion, you know of the things below. You know of the Green Lords, correct?
Of course we do.
Tell me, what is the prophecy? What does it speak of the day that the things below arrive on the earth?
She pulls out like a book for a second so she can like flip through.
Ominous music starts playing in the background.
And she just kind of looks at it and she's like, it's a notebook. It's just like a notebook of her notes. And she's like, I mean, the things below essentially, from what I can translate of the prophecy, want to bring about the end of the world for humanity so that they can claim what they believe is their rightful place. Up here on the surface. They have a connection to some of the Fae. It is said the things below may have, I think this was something we established earlier. It said that the things below may have created, or the Fae, some of the Fae may worship the things below. It's not a super common faith anymore, as far as I can tell, because the things below threaten the Fae's way of life as well. I mean, in the prophecy, from what I could translate, if they come up, they don't intend on letting anyone survive, Fae included. Anyone who lives up here on this world, whether it's in the Fae plane or here, no one comes out of this in a looking good or in a good way. Everyone dies. As far as I know, the things below will just use the Fae's power against them.
Well, yes.
Which is why
that is to say.
She's like, which is why most Fae, as far as I can tell, at least from my more recent studies, don't really worship them anymore. But obviously, there's always the fire and brimstone outliers, much like we have up here with the Makers.
Yes. I was wrong when I said there was a civil war. I misunderstood what was happening. As you know,
and thanks for that. It's made our choices so much better informed.
They were misleading all of us. But as you know, centuries ago, the Fae and humanity struck a deal to push the Green Lords down to where the things below live. I think the Fae believe that they got the wrong end of that deal. They've been pushed to the edges of civilization, and I think some of them believe they could unleash a purifying scourge upon the earth and hide out somewhere and inherit it once it's all over.
They don't seem particularly weak to me.
So,
Their plan is very far along, but I think we can still thwart it.
Oh,
I mean, is there no world in which we actually just offer a better deal? Because the Green Lords and the things below are just going to destroy everything.
Tyrion, can't you figure out that their deals are always to our detriment?
I am aware their deals are always to our detriment. And that is why we go to a lawyer. You go to someone who is just as sleazy and slimy as they are, who can write just the way they can.
Who do you have in mind?
We have to have someone in town who's like really savvy at this stuff. Or like
Shut up, Bron.
Tyrion kind of looks at Bron and is just like, this kind of your thing?
Of course. Of course. There is the concern that I appear to be susceptible to their charms. Is there anything that you can assist me with that while we negotiate.
I can make you a charm to protect you. I can do that. But here's the thing. I don't just mean like they feel like they got pushed out. And I can't say I blame them. I can see why they would think that. Humans definitely have the majority of the land and of the surface now. So the deal has to be something that appeals to them, that allows them to live in this, to live more and take up more space than they do now. But we also have to try and make sure that they can't mess with unwilling humans.
They've already taken Stonetop.
Yes, I'm aware. But if we can make something work where they can have a town maybe next to Stonetop or something, it's going to take a lot of magic to do this, but it's doable.
Or do they prefer a more wild or undeveloped area? Perhaps they would be more comfortable creating their own homes if we could offer them a section of the Great Wood.
Yeah.
You see them training. They want to play human. What do you think, Soothsayer?
You are proposing to give the Fae a foothold on our plane of reality.
They have a foothold.
Yes.
Do you have any recourse?
They are playing under their own rules. They can be dealt with under the rules of war. You could push them out. You could fight them. You could kill them. It would be very difficult. I don't recommend this. Giving them their own land, though, then they could do whatever they wanted from that space. They would be able to defend against you. I think.
Well, but conversely, if they have a stake in the area, then they would become allies, even if just at convenience. And if we can negotiate a contract or areas in which they would not be able to proceed further, then they could have their state and their foothold, and their contracts and their deals would prevent them from moving beyond that.
Unless they charm people into agreeing. Unless they charm people into letting them out.
I am proposing that we actually try a peaceful arrangement. Because the alternative, if they really want to get those Green Lords and the things below up here, we all die.
There is no stomach for war among the Fae. I think you could avert a war, but I'm not sure you could avert one using peaceful methods. You may try, but I will give you my advice if you want it.
Yes.
More information is always good.
You don't need to kill every Fae. You just need to kill the one who cooked up this scheme, who is behind this plot. The Prince.
The Prince.
Well, we know where he'll be in a couple days.
I believe if you assassinate the Prince, it will throw everything into disarray. At the very least, you will have time to prepare for their next incursion. And it might even avert it for generations.
Won't that just piss them off more?
It might. But the father is weak and old. The prince is pushing. The prince is pushing to make his own move. And
what happens if he gets a bride, a human bride?
I wouldn't know anything about that. He says, looking pointedly at Tiernan. But rarely do good things happen when the Fae join hands with our own. Because then we humans no longer have loyalty to our own kind because we become like them. So,
well, we're humans. we're not known for our loyalty to our own kind.
Mm-hmm. This is true. This is true. Yes, it is not a foolproof plan, but everything I have studied, everything I know, suggests to me that if you kill him, it will cause enough disarray that you will have time to prepare, and they will retreat.
Well, Karen, how do you feel about being a widow?
Can I maybe spout some more about how the marriages work and see if
Absolutely. Roll me 2d6 plus
see if I can work it
multiplier, plus wisdom. Yeah.
That's. Can I use my books and scrolls?
Or use your advantage from recap.
Oh yeah, I have advantage.
Yeah.
I'm smart. That is a 7.
Okay. So I'm going to tell you 3. I'm going to let you contribute one thing that is absolutely true. And then I'm going to tell you 2 things. One is true and one is not. But you tell me what's absolutely true.
I love it.
While it is true that a human will have to become one of them,
Mm-hmm.
it does not mean, it does not mean they lose who they are entirely and will now just have the Fae powers. It doesn't mean they lose who they are as a person. It just means they become a Fae.
Okay. So here are 2 different things that you have heard. One, the human whose town, the town the human comes from. God, I forgot how to speak English. The town from which the human who is wed comes is showered in blessings for a whole generation. Fruitful livestock, fruitful crops. No one is with want for years to come. The other thing you have heard is that the town that the human who gets married comes from is scoured from the face of the earth.
Not a lot of leeway between those 2 impressions.
And there are equal numbers of legends about both. The scholars do not, even Erasmus does not have a firm opinion on which is true.
Do we have enough time to get to Marsh Edge before the equinox?
No, Marsh Edge is a 2-week ride, and you're about 3 days away from the solstice.
Well, that I said was probably things below related. Maybe. Don't know for sure. But no, so yeah, Tyrion just kind of sits there and she's like, well, one thing I do know for sure is that over time, because I'll live forever, is that or she won't just say because brides live, because you become Fae and live forever, but that doesn't mean you lose yourself immediately. It doesn't just mean you become a completely different person. It just means you become a Fae. But there are equal legends on towns getting blessed and towns getting scoured from the face of the earth, and there is no rhyme or reason or pattern to how either of those have spun about. And it could be the human being I hate this place and wanting to scour it. It could be the human loving the place and wanting to bless it. There's no one knows for sure.
But either way, no one in the town wants for anything ever again.
Yes.
Erasmus points at Braun and is very clever. I like this one.
Yeah, you say that now.
Braun grins at you.
She does wink at Braun because she's still mad at him, but she's easing up.
So either way, it seems like your wedding party is going to create quite a mess. And
they could bless us. It's not. I don't feel comfortable killing anyone.
How do
I
you
haven't
feel?
felt blessed by them yet.
How do you feel about Stonetop? Kieran?
It's my home. I like it. I like it here. I have my general issues, but that's not with Stonetop.
Well, that would hopefully be a support in the blessing category. However, long term, it doesn't address our, regardless of the outcome of Stonetop's future, doesn't resolve the larger issue of permitting the Fae or to have a foothold in the world versus the Green Lords potentially raising everything and everyone.
I just wish there was a good way to use. I have some advantage here, and I just wish we could use it in a more peaceful sense. I don't want to have to kill a living being.
So why
Are
don't
they really
you?
alive?
Why don't you cut a deal?
What do you think she still has to bargain with?
She's got a murderer.
Who?
She looks at Carlo.
You're not thinking of turning yourself in, are you?
Let him speak.
Erasmus.
Because
Are there any other powers we can leverage on our behalf?
There are always other powers. Now, depends what religious sects are most powerful here. I haven't seen any light bringers around here, but you have a judge, correct? Or do you just operate as the judge, Mr. Marshall?
I'm trying to learn how to kill these things.
Okay.
They don't belong here.
Very good. They don't. They don't. Well, I would say that puts you... Oh, God, I can't remember the name of this god. I would say that puts you in line with the needs of something or other. I would say that puts you in line with the... I'll find the name of the god. I would say that puts you in line with with the institutions of the gods of order, who wish to keep the world as it is. Perhaps you could appeal to the Great Lord to give you the strength that you would need. He might meet your petition. It might also take your life. Both might come true at the same time.
While my friend thinks about that for a moment, Erasmus, you had mentioned that few mortals are able to confront one of these beings and survive to tell the tale. Is there, in your experience or your knowledge, is there a better way to attack them than with iron weapons? That was my understanding, but if there's a more efficient means of killing them, that would be useful for us to know, regardless of what we proceed going forward. Whether that's protecting Carlo, letting him defend himself, or moving ahead with removing the prince from the equation. Is there a recommended method of disposal?
Making sure you can hear me. I'm having some connection troubles.
Yep. Yeah,
right.
I can hear you.
Cool. So Erasmus looks around and says, iron is the best way. They're very strong and they're very ancient. It takes a lot to kill them, doesn't it?
It takes
and he
a
looks over
lot
at Carlo.
to kill them.
So that's why I'm suggesting one target. I think in a war, I think in a war it would be too much. You would get a few of them. They would get all of you. But one target.
If the rest are as tough as that general, and I do hope they're not.
No, they are.
It would cost the whole town for us to win against the 48 left.
There are a few younger ones. They might take a dozen strokes to kill, but the older ones will be costly.
And that doesn't get us past 3 nights from now. So I will seek to make petition. Taryn, you won't see me for another couple days. You should talk to Zeb if you have any concerns. Regrets or a change of heart.
I just kind of like, I don't know what the best course of action here is. Tiernan is very much about, why can't we all just get along?
Well, it appears as though we have 2 primary courses of action. Carlo, you say that Tiernan won't see you for several days. Are you making a plan?
Barter.
Barter what?
Find out if the town will be spared if you turn me over. This is good information.
Tiernan, can you reach? And I look over at Erasmus. Anyone who might be able to give us additional information on that?
Probably.
And old man Erasmus, if you could tell me how to pay proper respects to this Aratius.
Yes. Aratus likes order, balance. Appeal to that side. He may speak to you.
All right. And I will attempt to disappear for a few days. Emily, let me know if you need to know where I am.
we will check in with you, but let's see what's up with the others. Like we're coming up. Honestly, we're coming up to probably got a half hour left. We're coming up on a good point to pause. But I want to check in with where y'all are as we're heading toward the wedding date.
On the meta, Carlo, do you have the XP to take a move from the Lightbringer playbook?
Oh, I already have.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Cool. So Carlo goes off into the wilderness. Braun, what are you doing as the wedding comes nearer?
Braun is not nervous but he is concerned that we don't seem to have a plan and an agreement on what we're doing. And with 2 sort of wildly conflicting ideas, he's trying to figure out a way to be prepared for both of them. So he has taken to arming himself even more with iron knives at all times, and is keeping an eye on what's going on. Have the invaders become? Has their shoot? Now it's my turn to have a brain fart. Has their behavior changed since the general's disappearance? Like, have they become more surly and standoffish, or are they basically acting the same?
They're still marching in perfect formation. There's just a gap where the general used to go in the middle of the front line.
Okay. So I think that okay, Braun is planning for the big party. He is making arrangements to make sure that food and delicacies and gifts arrive on time and all of that. He's also been making kind of inquiries. I think I'm going to consult with Erasmus and find out that if there were to be a guilty party for the murder of one of these Fae, what would they do to that to the offending party? Like, is there an elaborate execution? Do they just disappear? Do they just get killed really quick? Like, is there any sort of tradition of what might happen? Because if there's something like they construct a gallows and they hang him, or they do this elaborate ritual, where they kill him, I would be planning on figuring out ways, putting things in place to potentially disrupt such an activity if it became necessary.
Erasmus tells you that, as far as anyone knows, human perpetrators of crimes against the Fae are taken into Fairyland and worked until they die.
Okay. Not a lot for me to work with there.
But you don't know Carlo, the type of person to be taken anywhere against his will. So
I suspect that that's the case, but depending on what their powers are, you might not have a choice. So I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm spending my time setting up for the party and the wedding and making sure that that's going to be great, because if we're going to go through with it, whether we live or die, we might as well have a hell of a party and see off our very own school teacher. But what I've also done is either mercenaries or people who are not scared of the woods, to have them sort of have patrols and keep an eye on the door that we know that goes between here and Fairyland. Like, not to take any action, but to kind of report back to me if they see anything that is going on. And if nothing happens, I'll still pay them handsomely for their time.
Okay. Yeah. They, it doesn't appear that more troops are joining the troops that are here, but they do sort of keep an eye on things. And they do say one night they see a lone figure sort of appear from the tunnel, headed toward the town, but the figure loses them in the woods. They were wearing one of the hats, one of the helmets that like the general was wearing. So appears to be the new general, but have not seen the new general just yet. So yes, Tiern, what are you up to? How are you getting ready for your wedding?
Spa day.
Tiern is basically trying to research every possible thing and every possible solution to this problem.
Mm-hmm.
He is just like, because basically he's in the I either kill him on our wedding night, or I come up with a more peaceful solution that compromises and benefits both situations and both people. Because Tiern is very much I don't want to have violence. I don't want to kill. I mean, she'd be able to, but she doesn't want to.
As you are working on this, Anouk, the real Anouk, enters your schoolhouse. I assume that's where you're doing this. You can say if you're elsewhere. And she looks at you and is like, why? Why did you make that deal?
I wanted to help people. Also,
Yeah.
I was able to save people.
Yeah.
People I cared about.
And he's very handsome.
Oh, yes. This is true.
But he lies.
Yeah.
I know that if you have to go, you have to go. But I would really miss you. You're like the only one here who ever cared about me. I mean, Dolores does too, but I didn't realize that. I didn't realize how much she cared about me.
Yeah, Dolores cares about you a lot. Tyrion just goes smile.
Yeah.
She's the reason we were able to go back and get you. She helped us a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. He lies. Don't trust him. He lies. And she's like, okay, I'll be at your wedding.
And Tyrion is just like, how do I not have to murder him? Like, just trying to make this a peaceful solution. Trying so hard. So she's doing she's got every book out, every notebook she's ever had. She is trying so hard to find a way to just make it a more peaceful solution so that Carlo doesn't get hurt, Stonetop doesn't get hurt.
Do you have a spell lore? Do you have discern realities? Do you want to have something you want to do here to sort of try and puzzle this out?
I wish there was a good research skill, but there's not. So it's I get because I feel like this is not just discern realities because that's wisdom. I feel like this is more of an intelligence thing, going through and trying to find every possible.
Let's do spout lore. Let's do spout lore and treat it as discern realities. So whatever you roll, you will get a certain number of questions to ask me.
I'm going to use my advantage again. Actually, no, I'm going to say that because I do have to go sit with murder.
I'm not gonna let you use books and scrolls because you don't know precisely what you're looking for. So
no, that's fine. Shit. Maybe I do want to use my advantage. All right, that's a 9.
Okay, so you can ask me one question.
Oh, I could also use my thingy that I have. That's so specific. My ice sphere, not cube. It's not.
Oh yeah, you could use your ice sphere.
I'll start with discern. I'll use my ice sphere.
Yeah.
Man, what should I be on the lookout for? Let me find my ice sphere. I have that.
It's, as far as the literature suggests, the time to strike is before the wedding is completed, before the fairy bridegroom places his kiss upon you. At that point, something happens that makes you less interested in humanity. Whether it's because you become like him or what, getting to the point where you're alone with him is probably going to be tricky. Maybe there's a way to guard against it, but definitely that moment when you kiss at the altar or whatever they use in fairy weddings, that moment seems like something happens that twists you into some new form that is less interested in humanity. And yeah, let's look into that ice sphere.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
Let's do this because, oh my god, I have an idea. I have a thought. I don't. Oh god. Okay. I have a thought. What is this plus? Okay, so that's an 8.
Okay.
Basically means I get like one of these questions. I should be keeping track of my acumen because I might have some, but all right.
So, Carlo, it sounds like the plan is that we're going to have to take the prince out on a bachelor party and take care of it then.
No, I have an idea. I have an idea for how to get him alone. But all right. I don't know which one of these is a good question to ask. I don't know. What am I overlooking, I guess? Is this the only option?
What are you overlooking? You know how you said the things below would scour even the Fae?
Uh-huh.
You remember how there's a thing below that's unleashed upon the earth right now that killed 3 people in your town?
Oh, yeah.
That's one way to kill some Fae.
Okay, I'm gonna let Braun know about that, I guess. Or let Braun, because Carlo's not around. I guess now it's looking very likely Tyrion is gonna have to kill this guy. Because making a deal with him isn't gonna work. But I have a plan for that. I don't know if anyone else wants to go first, but she's going to give a note to Braun that basically says, things below can kill the Fae. That means the Crombill,
yes.
The Crombill can kill them for you. So she's going to leave a note for Braun on that. And unless we want to do something else first, I have a very begrudging kill the prince, the fairy prince plan.
Braun, what do you think when you read this note?
Well, first of all, I eat it. If it's on, some sort of paper or vellum or something, I rip it up and swallow it. Then I'm going to see if I can repurpose some of these mercenaries to see if they can find out where the Crombill has gone, or if we're getting reports of where it is or something like that. And then I think I will... Actually, before I do that, what I'm going to do is speak to Erasmus and ask him what he knows about the Crombill and whether it has like a favorite food, something that could lure it to a place.
I mean, it likes to eat everything, but mostly it likes to eat humans and Fae.
Well, if it has, let's say it had gone someplace, it was heading towards a larger town, which I presume that it is because it had stuck around Stonetop. If you wanted to change that direction and maybe bring it back here, is there anything that you would recommend besides riding in front of it and throwing children at its mouth every 20 feet?
That would be the best plan.
Well, I don't think that's a... Well, no, I don't think that's a... I don't think that's a viable plan. I did think for a moment about all the orphans left from Marsh Edge.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Come on.
Hey, I'm in the mind of an asshole, so...
The Crombill is right now very far away, but it will be attracted and it can move through the earth. It will scent a particularly appetizing feast. So if you could gather enough beings in one place at one time, it just might burrow its way through and burst in. A wedding, perhaps.
Interesting. Well, this was, of course, all academic. I was just 2 in the morning. I woke up and I just had this insatiable curiosity, and I needed to make sure that I stated it, or it would keep me up for, frankly, the rest of the week.
I understand.
But
yes.
I appreciate the information, and the pickled beetroot that you requested should be arriving within the next day, probably in time for the wedding. I don't know if that has anything to do with why you ordered it, but it should be here on the next shipment, and I hope you enjoy.
I don't intend to be here for the wedding.
Oh, did you want me to forward the beetroot somewhere else?
No, I will pick it up tomorrow and be on my way.
All right, well, fair enough. Is there anything I can do to assist you on your journey?
If would leave Stonetop now.
Connection
is unstable.
Yeah, I think we missed that.
We missed you. You froze.
Oh, cut out. Okay. If you wish to survive, young Braun, I do like you. You may come with me tomorrow. I am going to head as far south as I can and hope I can outrun what's to come.
Well, I may take you up on that offer, but in either case, please allow me to help provision you for your journey.
Yes. Carlo, where did you go?
Carlo is in a niche in the lookout tower.
Okay.
And, everybody knows the lookout tower is manned by bored youth who wish they could be doing other things.
Mm-hmm.
And essentially I have a mirror and I kind of can communicate with Zeb if need be.
Okay.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Have you figured out a way, have you commandeered this? Have you made sure no other people take shifts, or could, for instance, beloved NPC Dolores perhaps be there at some point?
Beloved NPC, I have not stopped any of the normal rotation.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So Dolores is just here, but she's working on her thing. She's watching the watch.
Yeah. I have sent word to essentially keep an eye on Erasmus and when Erasmus leaves, almost I'm torn as to whether or not the town should empty out.
Mm-hmm.
Because something bad is coming, and there will be a fight with the intruders.
Okay. What's the other option?
I'm sorry?
Oh, you're torn between everyone should leave or everyone should fight.
I think I put that out, and so I let folks know. I let Zeb know to discreetly tell people. I send word to essentially tell the farmers they need to figure out if they're staying and fighting for their land or if they're leaving.
Yeah.
And there'll be great bloodshed.
Yeah. people are making different choices. People are, heading different places. And Dolores, who just happens to be working here, is like, I'm not leaving, by the way. I know that you're like I know you're the one who's trying to get people to leave. I'm not leaving. I'm going to stab that guy in his eye.
I don't say anything. I assume I'm in the rafters or whatever.
Yeah. She knows you're there because she's very savvy about this. But
she doesn't walk around in every building and talk to the rafters about stabbing people in the eyes.
Yes, I'm just talking to myself. I'm not talking to anyone who might happen to be hiding here. I'm just talking to myself. So what's your plan now, Carlo?
So I'm gonna try to talk to this this higher power that doesn't like agents of chaos, which I've spent most of my life being.
Yeah. So I want to just get a quick sense of. So the Order of Aratus is like one of the main religions of this world. You are an agent of chaos. This is a very much orderly god.
Yep.
Were you raised in this religion? What's your relationship with this? Okay.
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
I have met fools who gave their lives and their wealth to a god I don't believe in. And I have been one to take care of myself, but in the last year, I've seen things that I don't understand. And they have scared the hell out of me. And at Erasmus's urging, essentially, I have spent a couple days praying for Stonetop.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And you do feel a tickling at the back of your brain that indicates to you that some sort of presence is here. Do you have any special training or special moves that might help you exploit this presence?
No.
Okay. All right.
I have a 0 for int and a 0 for wisdom. This is not my thing.
I want you to parlay with Aratus.
Oh, but I can parlay with Aratus. That's what I do.
Do you have any leftover advantage?
So I have a 12. I rolled a 10.
Okay. And you feel that tickle at the back of your brain sort of resolve into this great booming voice, but weirdly you can't pin it down. You can't figure out if it's the voice of a stereotypical man, stereotypical woman, somewhere in between. It's just this booming voice that sounds like all voices at once. And it says, "Why have you summoned me?"
Agents of chaos have come into the land. They have
refer to yourself?
I wish. I said a great monster has flown from a cave, releasing fairy. A wedding is going to happen, and a town may be destroyed. I have raised my hand to destroy them, and I've been successful. But understand, I don't ask you for anything out of pride. This town's been good to me. I would like to see it stand. And I would like these agents of evil, these things that don't belong, these anathema to civilization, to be sent back where they come from, with no foothold here.
You feel almost like a snake sort of twirling around you through the air. You don't see anything. It says, you could take those you love. You could leave here tomorrow. You could travel as far south as the road will take you.
I know
you
this.
You would live a long, happy life. You would be a grandfather. You would die before they got to you.
I'm already a grandfather.
Yes. But you could spend time with your grandchild.
That's never been my style.
I see. I have no love for the things below. And I understand what is about to happen here. So, as you are quite certain about being on this path, I will grant your boon so long as you devote the rest of your life, no matter how long, to preaching my word.
Ooh. Which is exactly...
How long?
No, what is your word?
Spread order, become one of my judges, work throughout this world.
I could be a useful tool if I survive this encounter. And it seems that the world needs to stand against this chaos.
Yes, it does. All right. I will grant your boon. What do you ask?
I don't even say it should be by my hand, but I want to see these creatures banished back to where they're from. The bride can make her decision, although I think it's folly. And if you could release the one called Ilsa, this town needs her. My life is forfeit. I'm sorry?
Okay, go ahead.
I said my life is
go ahead.
My life is forfeit to your cause.
All right. I will see about the one you call Ilsa. She may be too far gone for me. But you, I give this unto you. And descending, just like you notice in the corner of this niche you're in, the hammer that you gave Ilsa all that time ago. And it seems to glow with like a weird unearthly light. And she says, one true blow with this will kill a fae. But you'd better not miss.
And do I have to kill their leader or do I have to kill them all?
I myself think killing them all is preferable.
I agree.
But killing the leader should work. On the other hand, I understand you have been told to kill the prince. I would kill the king. I would go straight for the head. I would unleash chaos.
That makes sense.
I love order, except when chaos plagues my enemies.
Now that we've spoken, can I eat now?
Yes.
You may break fast.
Below you, Dolores says, "Who were you talking to?" You probably weren't actually talking out loud. I just thought that would be fun. You probably had this all happen in your brain. But yes, you can eat now. I'm going to go back to Tiernan. Tiernan, It's the day before your wedding. The morning of the day before your wedding. You tell me what you're doing this fine day.
Tiern has started prepping some plans because she's realizing she probably can't get out of this as peacefully as she wanted to, and has been working to see if she can make a magic dagger that will kill a fae, and maybe 1 or 2 hits instead of like 30.
There's a sudden rush of wind, and your fiance is in the room. Only you can see or hear him, but you're all alone, so who cares? He's like, darling, I understand that you and your friends may have been part of this death of this general. I don't think that you did it, but I think that maybe one of your friends did. We have yet to find the body, but just if you could talk with me. By the way, the new general arrives today. Would you like to go take a look at him?
I would love to meet him. As for the murder of the old general, I don't know specifics as to what happened yet, but I do know that someone in Stonetop seemed to think they were taking justice into their own hands.
Yes, of course.
They don't feel comfortable with it. They don't know you all. They're not sure what's going on. I guess some people are scared.
Well, I've narrowed it down to 3 candidates in my mind. The girl Dolores, a hellion.
No.
The Marshal, Carlo, believes he's always on the side of rights, and that Ailish, who seems to have an affection for you.
Well, that's quite the list. And it's definitely not Dolores. You can cross her off. She's too busy being girlfriends with a Nook.
I feel almost offended that I'm not on the list.
You want me to throw you under the bus?
No, I'm just saying.
I mean, he's like, hey, come, walk with me. And he's heading out to the edge of town.
She starts walking with him.
Now, the time around a wedding between a fae and a human is always a very dangerous time. People get plans in their head about what they might be able to do to disrupt that wedding, or to bring great violence against my own or your own. There are reasons that we strike the deals that we do. It is to keep the peace between our peoples and all of the other delicate balances that are at play. And so we always like to have a few wild cards in the mix. And that is why I wanted you to meet our new general. And he gestures, and you see Ilsa in the middle of this group of fairies marching back and forth in sequence. And I have to tell Mac that I did that. But hopefully she's okay with it. If she's not, we'll figure something else out. Because it's a good ending anyway. Thank you all.
Kieran's like,
yeah. No, that's great. That's a wonderful place to end an episode.
All right.
Nice.
That is all for this time. I'm going to look at my whole thing again here. That's the end of tonight's session. We hope you enjoyed it. Join us on August 9th. That's the next time we play for our next session. It probably will be the finale. Feels like there's a lot of balls in the air, though. If you want to catch up on past episodes, visit happyjacks.org/stonetop. And if you want to find all of the other APs on the Happy Jacks Network, visit happyjacks.org/shows. Let's talk about what we're all doing. Mo, what are you up to?
We just released Zero Samurai, based on the Yojimbo Jam, which is built on the same engine as Holdfast. It's a one-shot adventure about similar to Seven Samurai, but if no samurai arrive, how do you survive as a village of people who aren't really the fighty types? Let's see. You can find me on Twitter at AshyFeet1, and that's it.
And Holdfast Station, I've gotten to check out, is very good game. I'm very excited for more people to see that. Blythe, what are you up to?
Unmuting myself first. Yeah, so I have been Blythe. I'm Blythe Colin 93 across all of the socials, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, all of that. So that's BLYTHEKALA 93. You can also find me currently on over on Roll For It. It's Roll For It with a 4. Where I am playing in a Knights Black Agents game, and I play a white woman with a podcast who's really good at solving crimes. It's wonderful. She's super fun. Her name is Ashley Williams. You get points if you know how I picked the name. But yeah, that's currently on Saturdays starting at 10 a.m. Pacific time, going till about 2. It's fun. Our last one's coming up. I don't know how their VOD situation works, but you should go check it out and watch it. It's been a very fun with a very good group of people.
A white woman with a podcast? How relatable. Nick, what are you up to?
I have no other streamed things or presence at the moment. You can follow me at Sungrowler on Twitter and Instagram if you never want to hear from me, because I almost never post there. However, just on a self-serving note, I am going to be starting a new job in 2 weeks, so I'm super excited about that. So if you want to hop into Twitter and congratulate me, I'd be happy to hear from you. That's it.
Nick, I'm not on Twitter right now, so I'm just going to congratulate you by saying congratulations, Nick, which I know doesn't last as long because you can look at the tweet and just print it out and hang it on your wall. But just try and remember this moment. I am Emily Vanderwerf. You can find me on Twitter at twitter.com/EmilyVDW. I'm not really tweeting right now because I'm working on 15 other things. I'm here every other Monday playing this game, and I think I'm going to start being in a session of The One Ring on some other streaming network. I don't know. This might be happening. So I guess just Google my name and The One Ring and see what comes up. I don't know. But yeah, I'm here every other Monday. We're going to be back here on the 9th to probably finish out this Stonetop game. Thank you all for watching. Thank you to my wonderful players for playing. And I look forward to seeing what happens at that wedding. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.